and turning tables. I'm about to turn the tables on somebody in a second, but before that I want to mention about a new study, because it's found that exercising with others or in a group will make us happier, because it helps with the workout. The 2,000 people, and they were split between those who work out socially or with others and those who do it alone. And there was a significantly higher percentage of group exercises that found that it made them happy compared to those who did it solo. And this new data, anyhow, shows that exercising with friends will leave you, or with other people, will leave you more positive, more fulfilled, and more content compared to those who work out solo. Now, you might think that swimming in the sea is a very sort of a solitary exercise, or solitary form of exercise, and that it's not what you would call group exercise. But there was one man that did it in December, and for the most part, it was a group thing, because there was often at least one other person with him. He was doing it to raise money for the Kevin Bell Trust and the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust. And his name is Denis Sheridan from Kilmacrennan, I think it is, yeah. And Denis went swimming around Donegal, somewhere around the coast of Donegal, every day in December of all months to go into the sea. To pick a month to do something like this, he chose December. Anyhow, Denis is here. So, how'd you get on, Denis? You did do every day.
How you doing, John? And thanks for having me on your show here. I got every day in December done.
A different beach every day, was it?
Most days a different beach. It started off. I decided to do this December swim for the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust because of an incident that I was involved in this year, and that the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust had to be called on to help out.
Remind listeners what the trust does.
The Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust, if an Irish person passes away overseas, or due to accident or whatever, the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust will repatriate that body back home to Ireland. It's a trust that was set up in 2013 by Colin Bell and his wife, because their son Kevin got knocked down in New York in a hit and run accident, and all the neighbours, the Bells, all their neighbours raised money to bring Kevin back and to bring his body back. And after that was done, the Bells realised that money left over, and somebody else, the same thing happened to another family, so they give that money to this other family. So they realised that a lot of this was happening.
There was a need there.
And there was a need there, so they set up the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust.
So that's what you're raising the money for, and you set the aim of going into the sea every day in December. But as I mentioned there, not alone most days. Were you?
Yeah. No, I wasn't alone. I started off, I set up the Facebook page and decided, I thought I would go to Rathmullen and swim every day. But then a very good friend of mine, whom you probably know, Jennifer Doherty from Buncrana, she asked me to come down to Buncrana to Ned's Point to swim with her mother's swimming group. So
you didn't swim across or anything?
No, I didn't swim across. So I found that when I got to Buncrana, there was Jennifer had a whole crowd gathered up there, and for anybody who doesn't know Jennifer is blind, and I first met her in 2022. I trekked to Everest Base Camp with her, so you'll probably hear more about her this year, John. She has a couple of things in the pipeline this year, and I'm sure you might have her on your show. So with swimming with Jennifer's mother in the group that day, I just put it out in the group on the Facebook page that I was happy to swim anywhere around Donegal. I decided that I would try and swim as many places around Donegal as possible. Mm-hmm. So then different swimming groups started to invite me, because there's a lot of in this area here in Rathmullen, you have the crackpot swimmers, you have the Swilly Sunday swimmers, and Port Nabla, you have a swimming group there. Marble Hill, we have the Darlin Dippers. Over in the boat stand in Carrickfinn, you have the Dauntless Dippers. So you have all these different swimming groups. So these people started to make contact with me, and I thought at the start that I would go out in the morning and an hour later I'd be back at work.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work out like that.
It didn't work out like that. The first day with Jennifer, it was actually 3 o'clock that day before I got away from her and her mother. So I'm very, very fortunate that at my own work I have a good team behind me because
you're able to step out.
I just abandoned work for the month of December.
Right.
I just physically was not at work any day in December. Absolutely not one day. And
well, you have to. It's not just about the swim. You have to have a cup of tea afterwards, and
and I didn't realize
debrief.
I didn't realize any of this was going to happen. And but very shortly, I wasn't very long far into the swim when I realized that. It's more than just a swim, that people wanted to talk, people wanted to become a part of this, and people wanted to donate and help in any way they could, And I found it a really humbling experience, because there was one location I went to swim in, and there was 2 families there, and both of those families had cause to use the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust. And I found that day you could feel an atmosphere. You could feel that this was more than just a swim. You could feel.
Well, that makes it all
you
the
could
more
feel,
real.
yeah. You could sort of feel that it was families reaching out and find maybe this is another way of remembering their loved ones. So there was days like that. Was really you could say emotional. But
I understand.
Mm.
No, it's not that you're new to sea swimming. You've been doing it for a while.
This has been my third winter doing sea swimming.
Okay. What prompted you to start sea swimming? Just another form of exercise?
Another form of exercise, yeah. I went into Wet and Wild and I bought some gear. I bought one of the big dry robes and gloves and a few bits and pieces. And I just went to Port Nablan one day on my own and I started. And then I belonged to a walking group as well. And one day after we finished a walk on the boat strand in Carrickfinn, I told some of the walking group that I was going to go for a swim there, and some of them came along to watch me. And the next thing, the following Sunday, some of the walking group was on swimming, and a whole lot of people, from that first swim of mine, other people have started it as well, And
because a lot of people would know you from walking because you've been an active walker for a number of years.
Yeah.
But do you still walk?
Still walk, yeah. Yeah, still walk. I have a wee bit of back trouble at the minute, so I'm sort of a wee bit restricted to some of the things I can do.
More swimming than walking.
So more swimming than walking at the minute, But I find the benefits, not only the physical benefits, but the mental benefits of the swimming is, is really good.
Well, depending on where you are and maybe who you're with, when you're in the sea, life looks different, and then when you get out, it not only feels different, no matter how cold it is on your way in, it feels warm when you come out, and things just seem different as well.
Yeah, the world seems a better place, when you can go in there and there's a lot of stuff going on in your head and maybe resentments to people for this, that and other different things, and then you come out and the world's a great place and you can tackle anything. Yeah. And that's not only me, that's just every sea swimmer will tell you that, because it's such a challenge. It's such a challenge to actually just to go in at this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. During the winter, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a few people that went in with me on the December swim that hadn't been in before, one person in particular, a good friend of mine, and we went in Port Nablan, and he hadn't been in all year round, hadn't been in swimming. And the next thing we were on the water, and this hailstone shower started, and it was big hailstones.
As if things weren't bad enough and cold enough. Yeah. And a hail shower. So he got a great introduction.
He did get a great introduction. But
so it was all positive, and what's more positive about it is you raised a lot of money along the way.
Yeah, raised a lot of money. I set up the Facebook page with the help of one of my daughters, and on the Facebook page it said the limit for the target was €200.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know how to change that target. The amount kept
Kept
rising,
going up and up. Right.
and I tried a few times to change it, but I'm not very technical
Yeah.
with that sort of stuff. So
Right. But it didn't make any difference. People were still contributing.
people were still contributing, and at the minute it's at €27,569.
Wow. Wow.
And so I didn't have to change, but that, you know, the I have to thank so many people. So many people pardon the pun, rode on behind me,
Mm-hmm.
and came swimming with me, donated, you know, and maybe a couple of weeks in, I could see this momentum building. It was building and building all the time, and not to minimise any of the donations I got from the local people around here, from my friends, from my good friends and business contacts and whatever. One night I was contacted by a branch of the AOH in Philadelphia who said they were watching what I was doing and they wanted to make a contribution, and that
Wow.
that gave me a great lift, and it gave everybody that was helping me in this one as well a great lift. Just that somebody that people in
That far
America
away,
were watching this, and that's how it went, and it just kept going and going and going, and it was amazing. Some of the places I went, there was 50 people there waiting. Some of them just stood at the quayside, and other people went and swam along with me.
Wow.
And it was just unbelievable. And this was never about me personally, but it sort of at some, there was a stage where I felt I was like a bloody celebrity, with all this going on.
Was there a stage that you felt where you almost obliged that you had to, well,
Yeah.
not only had you to live up to the original promise, but then with all these various groups or people meeting you at different locations, then you were obliged. You had no choice. You had to be there.
Absolutely, yeah. But I didn't find it a chore at any stage.
Okay.
I was glad, when because I know a lot of people in different parts of the county from walking and everything, and some of these people I know set up the swims, said we have a group arranged to meet you in wherever, and I just got up in the morning and I knew where I was going, and it was I was just in the zone, and I wasn't going to let anything stop me. Nothing was going to stop me. I was bought into this project, and I was going to see it through to the end.
Sure, maybe I'll do something similar this December.
I'll live a day at a time, John.
One day or 1 month at a time. Anyhow, you're going to be handing over the cheque shortly, and I suppose it's important to remind if anybody has pledged money to Denis that just to make contact.
Yeah.
Because the cheque or the money's been handed over when? Is it within the next week or so, is it?
Probably now, next week we'll hand over the money, and I'd just like to say to people, why donate to Kevin Bell, and what I would say about Kevin Bell, is, Kevin Bell is recognised all over the world and all in developed countries anyway, and the harsh reality here is that in some countries, if there is a fatality, nothing happens until somebody rocks up with a cheque.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And once Kevin Bell's name is mentioned, everything starts to happen then, because they can deal with embassies, with law enforcement, with airlines, with undertakers, both here and in the country that the body's in.
Yeah.
And this is so important for anybody that gets that devastating news of a loved one being lost abroad. That's the most important thing that they want, is they want their loved one back home as quick as possible. And
At a time when there's a tragedy, you're not thinking straight either, and then the whole organisation side of things is taken care of for you as well as the cost. So it's a brilliant charity.
So like up until today, there's 27,500 raised, and I'm just putting it out there, if anybody, the page itself is for donating on is actually closed, but if anybody still thinks that they want to donate, they can revel at me or contact me, or there was one day last week, I was in Letterkenny, and 2 people approached me and gave me donations on the street. And when I got back home, my wife said there was somebody there with a donation, you know. But before I finish, I would just like to thank everybody that donated, every single person that donated, my own, you know, for everybody that helped me, my own wife and family, all the swimming groups that I'm involved with, the people that shared the page, everybody. And, you know,
There's combined effort.
A combined effort. And when I look back on it, you're saying, you know, did I find it hard to go to these? When I look, I sort of miss it.
Yeah.
I miss the celebrity status, and I miss the closeness of all the people that I swam with, and
Camaraderie.
that came out, the whole thing, you know. And you know, we done a good thing, and we're helping. And I've been fundraising for many years for many charities. This one is especially close to my heart, because this charity really needs money, because it costs a lot of money to do what they do, and it's a worthy cause.
Okay, well done, and thanks for coming in and having a chat with us and sharing. Denis Sheridan, thank you.
Thank you, John.